People who got their election news on Facebook might have been looking at more fake stories than real ones. BuzzFeed reached that surprising conclusion after analyzing the last 3 months of campaign coverage. The website studied how Facebook users engaged with bogus news stories compared to authentic ones. Jerika Duncan looks at the findings and what they mean for voters. Jerika, good morning.
Good morning, Nora. Now, this report compared fake news from hoax sites and hyper-partisan blogs to legitimate news articles from 19 major news outlets, including the New York Times, Fox News, and even CBS News. BuzzFeed News concluded that those fake so-called clickbait headlines hooked Facebook users more often than real headlines.
You might have seen this article on your Facebook feed back in September. A headline blaring, "Pope Francis shocks world, endorses Donald Trump for president." You may have even shared the article or just clicked like or wow or made a comment. The problem is the story was false, joining the ranks of other fake highly shared or liked articles. WikiLeaks confirms Hillary sold weapons to ISIS, or Hillary is disqualified from holding any federal office. BuzzFeed News says during the last 3 months of the presidential campaign, of the top 20 fake election-related articles on Facebook, all but 3 were anti-Clinton or pro-Trump, and Facebook users engaged with them using a share, a like, or a comment more than 8.7 million times. But they engaged with the top 20 election-related stories from legitimate news outlets, both pro and con for each candidate, fewer than 7.4 million times. While campaigning for Hillary Clinton the day before the election, President Obama criticized how false information can spread on the social network.
As long as it's on Facebook and people can see it, as long as it's on social media, people start believing it. And it creates this dust cloud of nonsense.
According to Pew Research, 66% of Facebook users say they get their news from the site. But at a tech conference last week, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg dismissed the issue.
I think the idea that fake news on Facebook influenced the election in any way, I think, is a pretty crazy idea.
But a few days later in a post, he acknowledged Facebook has begun to look into ways for the online community to flag hoaxes and fake news. Still, platforms like Facebook and Google could face legal hurdles in addressing the problem.
There's legislation in this country that says that if you are a platform, you are not liable for what people publish on you. However, if you start to edit what people publish on your platform, then your legal obligations increase.
Experts say it's difficult to filter out fake news in real time, but Facebook and Google have each announced new plans to prevent fake stories from spreading by restricting advertising with websites that spread the fake content.
There's a lot of it out there. I have to say, I'm not on Facebook every day, but when I'm on, I see a lot of these stories that are sort of like, what?
Right. So it's really incumbent upon the consumer to also double check. Here at CBS News, we have to make sure we have 2 sources, possibly more. But you have to be a smart consumer and not take everything at face value.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jerika.